Hello. Afternoon, guys. All right, so, ooh, gold, man. Jeez. Had buys for this.
You catch it, Hayden? Nice one.
Yeah. Jeez, look at it go. I'm out though. I had two positions. One down here. 31. And then one leaving this area at 36. Target was 42. Now look at it. Jesus. So this one, I had a really good little meeting with Bruce Lee earlier, just to work, understand a bit more about the different areas he's looking at on the charts as well. This here is the New York. Sorry about there's a murder going on. If you guys can hear that. But this is the midnight. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Midnight. Yeah. It's interesting data point to look at. Prices reacting right now at that level. Can't believe, man, 150 pips just if I held that.
Look at all the rejection wicks from the bottom just before we got the news though.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
This should go to the 5 minute, I think. Yeah, 5 minute.
Yeah, liquidity candle, little retest, but notice how the retest is not perfectly on the body, and then we've got the retest of the body. Of the wick. Beautiful. And then price came in, retest for the second time. I love this candle. Yep. I'm really liking this candle, where the body's like no top wick. It's about halfway of the wick. When price breaks the high of that candle, the whooshka. Really liking that.
And all the news was bad for US dollar and it just took off.
Yeah, so because I'm positive for gold, I'm bullish on gold. And then but we had FOMC last night, of course, which gave US dollar some good strength. Then London session pushed down, and we never came back to like these areas. So when you got these clean moves down, clean candles back up. Hey Dave. So let's see what we've got on. So we've got 3 o'clock news, don't we? So Forex Factory. ISM manufacturing PMI to come. US, negative news. So Powell, listening to this press conference, no, I didn't listen to it, but I was reading up on it afterwards, on what was being said. And he was like, the stock market's got well ahead of itself. So there's so much greed in the stock market. They'd already priced in these cuts, and everything was just going so bullish. Right? They got ahead of themselves, and then Powell didn't need to do anything. All he needed to do was like sit back, and whilst everything was giving really good numbers and it wasn't showing any sign of rollover, all he had to do was just say, we're going to be data dependent. Inflation's coming down the target, but we want to make sure that we're firmly underneath. We don't want to have a repeat of like the 1970s where they cut too soon, and then they cut too soon and inflation came back. So what the market read was that they backtracked on how much they thought the cuts would come in. So the initial, because they were still pricing in like 5 to 6 cuts per for this year. The Fed have always maintained they're looking at 3 rate cuts this year. So the 4 basically is going to need to be one every meeting if if they start the rate cuts, there's never going to be any chance of them cutting this meeting, but the next one was going to be March, and then it was going to be, the next one was going to be May, and then they'll have a meeting in June. So all it did was like reprice the odds and kick the next cut like later on. But there were some real lines in there regarding watching the labor market. Now, the labor market's the last thing to go when it comes to like economy showing real problems, and it can just hit you. It's good until it's not. So it's going to be really interesting to keep an eye on the labor market, because he did say that he'll be prepared to cut as soon as they start seeing some weakness as well in that side of the labor market. So historically, for the last like couple of years, take outside of COVID, the unemployment claims have been tracking around 180,000, 180 to 200,000 for like, yeah, let's say close to the 200,000 for like, you know, let's go a bit more. So you can see like these are the unemployment claims during COVID, like massive, absolutely massive. But then since like we finished these lockdowns for the last year, it's been sitting around 200, crept up a little bit, but it was constantly getting revised. Oh, maybe I've estimated a little bit. So let's say about 200, 210 as average. But lately it has, for the last, since it comes out, these come out weekly, by the way. The last few months, it has been starting to trend upwards. So let's get a little graph up here. Okay, so looking back, you can see the huge spike. Then this is where it was a bit lower. This 2019 COVID spike coming down, but it very slowly it is starting to creep up a bit by bit. So they're keeping an eye on unemployment claims. The next is going to be ADP numbers as well. So we're going to have that. No, that was yesterday, wasn't it? That was why you bought gold yesterday, Rob.
Yep.
ADP non-farm employment change, because this is bad numbers as well. And then tomorrow, what's going to be really interesting is if this number comes in low. If it comes in low, they're always revising lower already. So most of the time you see that they will revise this number lower. They don't talk about it. But if this number comes in low, this is a very low number already. And if they haven't actually created more jobs, it's going to put all that pressure back on for them to cut again in March and May. because the stock market's greedy as hell, I could imagine to see this recover again. So I like we need a normalization. We can't just keep on printing all-time high after all-time high. So I really like to see price keep coming down to make those buys easier. So tomorrow will be very, very interesting. Another thing, like I try not to read into unemployment claims, because most of the time the journey of a job loss is, it's not that you have these full-timers and we don't need you anymore. It's you'll have people that are on full-time, and then they might be working like the 38 hours a week or whatever. Now there's not enough work for these guys. Do they want to just release these people, these men and women, or they just cut hours? Now we're going to have to give you 30 hours, then maybe 25 hours. So they won't reflect in job losses. And what happens when these people now are on 25 hours? What are they likely to go do? Go get another job.
Find another alternative employment, so they've got two jobs.
Yeah, they'll get a job, and that will be like when they look at their job numbers, how many jobs they put on the market. There might be like 250. Okay, and it'll be like, oh, look at this, 250,000 people created work, but it's probably the same person now's got two jobs. So I try not to look into these much. You can look at quits, you can look at job openings. There's a whole bunch of things, but the employment market, very, very difficult to try read into accurately. But they do paint a real strong picture for fundamentals for like your CPIs and your interest rate decisions. but because they revise lower, or they revise, like most of the time they revise lower. You can see like all these little arrows here on the side are when they've revised, and the majority of the time they revise down. For this last year anyway, they've been revising down rather than up. So treat this number that comes out with a grain of salt, because we're not sure what it'll be. You've seen, like I've seen many times where jobs have gone up, but unemployment's gone up as well. How does that work? Anyway, it brings volatility to the market, and that's all we want. Now we're going to keep on exploring in the next few study sessions. We're really going to explore these different price points, these fixes, these session highs, lows. I'm going to look into more of these other like mid-morning gaps, this stuff as well. Really going to explore more into it, just to keep on building around my thesis of how the manipulation runs in the market. Really liking these for targets, because I think the main issue that I was finding was we get into really, like, we can really identify points of interest, zones of interest. Maddie, man, she's got a monkey up her nose, so she needs to get that out. We can really explore like getting into great trades, but I find I leave so much on the table personally. So because when price is coming down, you feel like that's a counter trend trade. But you can get into an excellent trade, but then like I'll secure, let the rest run. Sometimes you get these bangers that just keep on running forever. But you know, really, if you've got like maybe a better defined target, it's going to help me with my scaling in that I'm trying to improve this year, to like scale into these positions.
There was a couple of scouted opportunities there we could have hit.
Yeah. So rather than just get great positions, really happy with my trade with conservative targets. Just want to make most of these things, not leave money on the table. Cool. So how did you guys get in this morning?
I was trying to go the wrong way, so I took a loss on that one.
On German?
No, oh, sorry. I was talking about gold.
Oh, yeah.
I'm at work. I'm at work now, so I'm with you.
I just spent time on my my strategy. I don't feel like I trade very well in the morning. I kind of.
Is it the waking up period?
I don't. No, not really. No. I'm fully alert and I exercise and meditate and everything, but kind of I'm impulsive. I'm not impulsive. I'm the kind of person that always just wants action. You know, I want to be achieving, and so I think I just rush into things a bit too hard. And if I can spend my time in the morning being really productive with my other analysis and stuff like that, then I can get that out of the way, and then I feel like I've done the bulk of work, and then I can relax into trading in the afternoon. The other way around, I'm too anxious to achieve, and so I push it too hard, or I get too impulsive, and then that kind of upsets my day because I've done silly things, or so yeah. That's why I feel like I'll avoid live trading in the morning for now and only do it in the afternoon once I've done the rest of my stuff.
All right, so we've got 6 minutes until the open. What do you guys reckon? Up or down? Yeah, it looks like good liquidity. Got a little bit of zones across here. A little bit of structure. Bounced off of it. Maddie's been evicted. She couldn't behave herself. Okay, I feel like all the movements in gold. This has kind of been a bit of a slug. So very, very quiet session that we had. Wait, where's the one Lux Algo again? No.
I've drawn that grey zone just a tad lower, just where like a small trap might have existed. So your lower grey area, I've just got a tiny bit lower, but in the same kind of area. The wicks. I drew it from the wicks to the left.
Which time frame? An hour or the?
So there from lower down, the wicks underneath.
Oh, these ones.
Yeah, so sort of.
You got it to there.
Well, no, even lower.
Oh, all the way to the bottom.
Well, those.
This area is, yeah, I'd be treating this as like a range box. So if we can close the side of it, we go to the bottom, and then the actual zone would be this liquidity wick right here.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at the meat of that larger red candle and the wick below. So, anyway. So I think it might sell down to there and then go long.
Yep, sell to buy. Let's see. Let's see. See what it does here. I'd like to see it take this liquidity. So sweep this, and then come into here. But haven't really got any information to go by. Such a small, like low volatility day. For so much gold has so much more movement. So, can we finally break and close up into above these areas? Can this be a wick fill? Find it pretty difficult to find direction just yet. So kind of would like to see what PMI is going to come out as. If this is a surprise, then the main thing that's going to move the market are going to be surprises. So if this surprises to the upside, I think we'll be seeing US dollar gain strength. So we'll see gold go down again. Now that it's finally, like, it just exploded from this area. Really nice. Good old pound Aussies, looking good for the trip to Australia soon. This will be the first time. Be the first time in a while I felt like I'm gone on holiday at the right time. Not holiday, but visiting the country at the right time. All right, 40 seconds. Maddie's teething right now, so that's why she's so upset. Okay, so there'll be we have news around then as well, Dave. That would be quite nice. This is the stock exchange open. So I just took out the New York low. So extending the New York session just slightly so far. Hey Dave, what pairs have you analysed some traps for?
some what have we got? Can't remember.
What do you reckon the chances are that this is a trap to the downside, and then price surprises back to the upside, and then comes down? So from here, if I see a fake out from underneath here, come back above, I might look to go take the London high and then come down to that grey zone and then look for buys from underneath here. So it could be buy to sell to buy. That's if I get a fake out from this area.
Yeah, it's already faked out a bit. I guess it's broken the previous low, so that would entice a certain amount of people.
I think that New York will be, yeah, I'm gonna try get into it now. Take a buy. Maybe look for just 50 pips. If it breaks lower, then I won't hold it for too long. So I'm looking to target like the London high. So 70. Cool. Let's go. Okay, 7, 8 was my entry. Give it about 20 pips. So looking for this. Something like that. What will help this cause, if we can break into this area, and then we'll have to watch out for this second structure. Black box. So I'm going to secure a little bit at this point. So it's essentially going to be risk-free now. And hopefully we can just blast up to this area. We needed to close inside of here. If it can't close, it's rejecting, then we might not get up that high. So make sure if you're in this as well that you're taking some profit here, like off this a little bit. I mean, it's your choice. I think that was a nice easy one, the little fake out. First 5 minutes close a liquidity candle, this bad boy. So if we're leaving this low, it's not a good thing. So I'm going to tighten this stop loss to the low of that candle now. So you can test the entry, you can test the wick, but I'm really not interested in the second break of this level. Just see if there's any timely headlines. Thankfully, the Fed speakers, I don't think they speak usually the day after FOMC, so they'll come play silly buggers tomorrow. Plans for US strikes on Iranian personnel and facilities in Iraq. Syria approved after Jordan drone. Oh my god! I wonder if this has got something to do with this gold rally that we've got. Any war news? What's gold at now? Yeah, I think I'm going to hunt buys. I reckon danger area for reactions on gold, but any like meaningful pullback, especially if we come back to like this area, I reckon we could see price correct again. The only thing I'm concerned about was that we've got no wick on this news candle. We've just got push, so it could give fake outs in this area. Kind of expecting to see something like this, but I don't want to see so much momentum come in that once we break in this area that we actually do a full correction and create a little bottom wick on this candle. So I'm going to set an alert. I've already got the alert at here. Put an alert here as well so I can stay a bit focused later on. Okay. Is anyone looking at selling this if this is breaking there now? Okay, last chance for this trade to get up to this area. Otherwise, this 15 minutes looking came up, retested. And if we start breaking these lows, then we could get that sell move earlier than expected. 10-minute chart as well. Close all right. Can we do the wick fill? Hey Jim, how did Akshay get on with gold?
Yeah, he nailed it. He got on the 1 minute HCS at the right at the bottom.
Oh, this one right here.
Yeah, he literally took it. That's it. That's his entry and stop loss. That circle.
Holy,
And he,
yeah.
and he's held it. He held it way up towards the blue line.
Oh
That
man,
one, yeah. Yeah. He didn't let go.
that's incredible.
Yeah, it's good to watch. Wish I was in it. Yeah, it's massive.
Far out. That's amazing. Good on him.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll come in here. Is he still going?
I don't know. I dropped off his and joined yours.
Right. Nice. Do you guys understand the move? It's 1 minute chart, so it's quite hard. This is the under the 4 types of entries on the G drive. That's beautiful.
His logic was off the 1 hour.
Yeah.
It was really quite impressive logic actually. He was looking at
This
I'll just
candle.
annotate it. No, go back to there's the 1 hour. Oh no, 4 hour. Sorry, what's the 4 hour? I'll show you. So he was looking at where's the FU candle?
This one. Oh no, because he's got Forex.com.
Oh yeah, you're on
There
different.
you go. Is this better?
It was this one here. The fact that it wasn't closing below, so he was bullish until it closed below. So he thought it's sweeping it. First sweep here, another sweep here.
Mm-hmm.
He's considering this a sweep, and he was spot on.
Nice.
So that, yeah,
Absolutely crushed it. Far
yeah,
out.
yeah, absolutely, great job.
Okay, go. Come on, Naz. This is like a amateur level trade now compared to Akshay. Just took all the shine off this one.
Yeah, I should have told you he had a rubbish day.
Been so busy, I haven't been able to catch up with them too much recently. He's going to help out a few times when end of next month sometime. No, end of March. He's going to help out a bit. I'll help his group out a bit as well when he needs to take some time off. Okay, really struggling at this level. Is anyone in this as well?
I moved my stop to break even and stop me out.
Ah, bummer. When did you do that?
Oh, I didn't get in quite as low as you did, Hayden. About there somewhere, I think.
Somewhere? This. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When you said you were going to secure, my position was quite small, so I just moved to break even.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's the problem. Is as soon as you move a stop loss up into this zone,
Yep.
it's so often it gets hit.
I don't know. I haven't used magic keys for a while because I've been fiddling about with Trade Assistant. So I wanted to enable it now, but I've pushed magic keys onto the chart, and I plugged my magic keys keypad in because it was out of battery. Now I press open calc and nothing happens.
Probably because you've restarted the computer since like in the time between you using it. So you probably need to, your toolbar, you'll have that magic keys, that icon. If you gotta load that program for it to be running outside of the MT4 or MT5.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Of course. Okay. So magic keys out on my computer. Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, so magic key, the device talks to that program, which then talks to MetaTrader 5 or the MetaTrader.
Yep. Gotcha. There it is.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I've don't know how many times I've done that. I'm like, I can't get it to work. Checked all the settings, gone through everything, and it was because like that wasn't running.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had to get Bill to help me out a couple of times when it didn't want to play the game. It's really frustrating.
Yeah, Bill's a good guy.
Glad I asked.
Yeah, it's usually a simple fix.
Otherwise, it'd be like next 3 hours still scratching my head over it.
Yeah.
You're not the only one, Dave.
This is looking more and more like it wants to go down, but I'm prepared to let it test the entry. I don't think I'll give it. I won't let it take the stop loss. I don't think. So, not gonna quite get there yet. It's the structure, man. This is a problem. First structure, no problem. Second structure, danger. Okay, I've got 10 minutes until the news. So I'm going to let it touch it, but then if it touches it and rejects again, so like touches it and pushes up, I'll make that then the hard stop loss. So I'm prepared for it to touch the body once, like that. Sorry, where the wick starts, because the same thing is like if you're on gold, I have to keep an eye on this price here, but on gold. For this entry down here, same thing, like that's the candle, price comes down, you think that's the retest, price pushes up, and then if you're moving stop loss to break even, this is the one that retests that wick, and then it goes, well, kind of, but that's what I'm waiting on, is that I don't want to move to break even after this touch. I want it to actually let it touch the wick first. We could just be waiting for the news as well. Then it gets tricky if that news comes in and prices around here, because I don't want to deal with the volatility. But actually I was talking about the setups that happened before the news, and then using the news to go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I was showing you, when was it? But this, so 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock will come out. It'll be pending. We'll look at like financial juice. It'll be getting ready to show the headline. Go to Forex Live. And there will be an article here at 1500 UK time. And they'll have they've had time to write the report. It's only going to be a very quick report, but it would be already written and published when the news is coming out. So how do they write that, or how did even a program write it for them and just input the data that quick, unless the news comes out earlier? It makes sense. So like news comes out before we see it. So this is Akshay's theory, is that if you see the setup just before news, like minutes before the news, often then the news they know where it's going, and they'll see those HCS patterns, which often predict that if you've got 2 rejections from the downside, normally a resistance breaks.
That was what I was saying about those 5-minute candles on gold before the news. That was so obvious if you're thinking about that.
Yeah, and then Jim pointed out where it actually got in.
Yeah,
was literally that little move, this little wick rejection, literally minutes before the news came out.
Yeah. I was watching Forex Factory, and by the time I got back to the charts, it had taken off.
Yeah, it's already done. Okay, so based on where we think PMI could be going, 1 minute, we've got a couple little rejection wicks. Rejection, like off this resistance area. Another rejection. I reckon there's a good chance we're going down here. 3 minutes, a little bit more of a better time frame. Rejection candle, rejection. I do want to let it test that wick, but the trend is down. Feels like all the weight's to the downside. There's another one as well. Rejection wick. Yeah. It's gonna be here, isn't it? When that news is coming out, it's gonna make it really awkward.
Can you do it quickly? Remind me of the impact of the news either way.
It's ISM, so it was services manufacturing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, manufacturing, not services. So this is productivity.
So high numbers, good for indices.
High numbers good for US dollar.
Oh.
So yeah, so it could be negative. So depends on what the scenario is. So like good news is good news, or sometimes good news is bad news, or sometimes bad news is good news. Depends on.
That clears it up.
Yeah, it does. So at the moment, so you can have good numbers. So a number above, like they're expecting 47.2. So you can have good numbers like 48, 49, 49.9. And they're good numbers, but good numbers are really over 50. So you can beat expectations but still be contractionary. If it's over 50, it's expansionary. If it's under 50, it's contractionary. And they can be like, they can predict a recession. They could be a recession leading indicator. Okay, so we've tested the wick now. Okay, so now I'm going to move my stop to break even. Now I'm not interested in it breaking its own low. So if the numbers are good numbers, that's going to show that the economy's managing under these high interest rates, restrictive policy. So that will be supportive of the Fed holding high for longer, and that would be negative for indices.
Gotcha.
I'm out now. Okay. This trade's kaput. Now, I don't really want to get involved just before this news is coming out. It looks like it's going to be probably good numbers, judging by this. So good numbers, if price goes up and it's good numbers, it'll make those sells potentially better. It should make them better. After the news, I'll talk about when I mean like good news is bad news or good news is good news. Did anyone jump into the cells from up here to give it a go?
No.
Nope.
Okay, gold. Kind of fallen into a holding pattern as well for the last half an hour. Haven't really done anything.
It's taken the Asian high and then rejected off that 2050 again, though.
Okay. Oof.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the news coming now. 30 seconds. All right, fireworks. Oh, look at us down there. Yeah, good,
Wow.
good. Probably going to be good numbers. Yeah. If it's over 50, it's going to be really good.
Ugh.
Still pending. Come on. So it should be out already here on Forex Live. See what I mean? It's already out. Oh no, wait, this is it. 49.1 versus 47. So really good numbers.
Gold pushed down over 100 pips.
Oh, serious.
Yep.
All right, so I'm looking for sells now for all NAS. The good numbers are in. See if we get a bit of a pullback. Yeah, good numbers. So when say what I meant by good news is good news or good news is bad news. So towards the end of last year, they were trying to get more information on when rate cuts were going to come in. So if you're trading like gold and you wanted to buy gold, you really wanted to see those rate cuts or them pausing come in. So this is for you looking for buy gold, right? Now, if what you're thinking is the way that for me to buy gold, I need either some fear, uncertainty, or doubt to come into the market, or I need the US dollar to weaken. The one way for the US dollar to weaken is for the Fed to signal the end of the hiking period, and give like clues when they're going to start cutting. That'll bring the US dollar down. So good numbers, good news, as in positive numbers, is bad news. Is bad news for gold. That makes sense? Now,
Yep.
At some stage, there's gonna be fears of recession, and when there's fears of recession, and you're still trying to buy gold, if there's fears of recession, you really want to see some, like, maybe all the numbers coming out have been bad for a while, so now what you want to see is actually good news. If you see good news, then actually is good news. But it's quite funny, the narrative. So they even say on Forex Factory here, so most of the time good numbers is good for the US dollar, but there's times when it's not. So you'll see where it says where was it? Somewhere I've seen where it says good numbers is usually good for currency.
What kind of pullback are you looking for to go short? How far do you think it could come back?
I'm willing for it to pull all the way back to here, but I don't think it's going to pull all the way back up to here. So I think even get into this area, or even like reject off these guys. If it's rejecting that high, it'll probably push a bit higher. I'll give it a shot from I think I'll give it a shot from like this area. 33. I'll go in now with a wide stop loss, and I'll add if it keeps on pushing up. So I'm gonna keep this first position about a 1-to-1. So looking something like this. Something like that. So not a very precise entry, but very like low size as well. I'll look to add into it. But that's like it's a mega stop loss for now. I'll never let it get up here. I'll cut it sooner, but just in case of like flash crash or spike, I've just got it out of the way. I'll move it out of the way though. Just I don't want to see it. So any fake outs above this area, like liquidity wicks, things like that, inside this area. Starting to see it on 1 minutes, but I prefer a higher time frame. So that first entry is not very good. First entry is 16. It's not showing any slowdown, so I'll look above at the original target now to see if I can see any sort of rejection signs up here. This is where I'll add to it. The other side, the other flip of the coin, when we're talking about NAS, is good productivity, good numbers, means a lot of positivity towards purchasing. So I think this is giving NAS, giving equities a boost because it's showing good productivity in the economy. So I think this is helping this rise. I think we'll see potentially that narrative. Good productivity, good purchasing for business. Looking to see price do a liquidity grab on the narrative that reprice in interest rates, and then probably productivity again, where we see equity bulls take over and keep on and recover, and just still fight the Fed. So 3 minute closed. Still closed above that wick high. That could have a good impact on yen. If they exit their ultra easy monetary policy, yen's the black horse for to rise the most this year. Okay, so once we're closing back under there again, I think it would be a good idea to sell.
How did you mark up that grey box? I can't recall what you said about that in the first place. Was it just
This one?
No, the big one at the top.
This one?
Reacting.
That structure.
No,
Oh, this one.
Yeah, this one.
It was 4 hour, I believe. 4 hour, or was it 3 hour? I must have moved it by accident, but it's meant to line up with like these wicks,
Yeah.
and then also like this neckline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be in this zone. So holding a support, and then price pushes down, goes through it temporarily, and then struggles to close back in it. So it's like a zone.
Yep.
So 5 minute gave a rejection wick. Kind of retesting the London high. So we've got like a little one forming.
HCS.
Yeah. Jim's session. Jim's indicator. Jim's indicator picks it up. Oh, Rato, what is your name? I forgot to ask. Let's refer to you as Bruce Lee.
Sorry, my name is my nickname is Bruce Lee.
Oh, okay.
I'm the famous Bruce.
Your actual name is Bruce?
No.
Oh.
That came from the Hong Kong thing.
Okay. Reckon we'll see 17,150 today? Come on. See if we can hit these black lines. Hey Dave, what would the other Dave, not Dave Cox, what would you be seeing on here? Have you got an idea for NAS?
Hayden, are you talking to me?
Yep.
Well, yeah, actually, I was looking for a short by the highs. I was looking for some kind of liquidity spike above the highs.
These
and
highs?
close below.
Well, these highs?
Yeah, the Asian highs, I guess, on your chart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, no, sorry,
London
that's London highs. I've got different colors on my charts.
Okay.
Confusing. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Or shortly after, when it had made that sort of, I think you call it a liquidity candle, the M3.
Mm-hmm.
I would have looked for like another run up and spike above that.
Okay.
For just confirmation that there was resistance there, and I'd be looking for a short.
Mm-hmm.
So similar to, I guess, what you would be looking for.
So you're looking for like see price do this and like do a sweep.
Yeah, kind of thing. So a lot of the times, I think I mentioned to you in kind of the information I sent you, but a lot of times what I'm looking for is kind of like a shift in structure, and then I look for a pullback and get short. But I find with that, I miss a lot of moves a lot of the time because I don't. It's it's quite rigid in the way I was looking at price to retest. So I'm looking at ways now of getting in a lot earlier, but obviously I get a lot more stop outs now. So I try to get in, just after the spike of the high, looking for guys to be caught on the wrong side, and then to trade with that flow.
Mm-hmm. So like entering on this spike above here.
Yeah, kind of thing.
Yeah, gold did a nice one yesterday on the 15-minute when it did their run up over here. Oh wait, no, it was NAS yesterday. It was when we're trading here. Oh wait, Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah, this one. So yesterday's move, when price had come down, shot down in the London session. Maybe it was actually on the 5-minute. No, it was on the 15-minute. So price shot down. I was looking at this. There's a zone over here to the left, over in here somewhere, and I took a shot, just bought, didn't wait for any confirmation. Price moved up like nearly 50 pips. I was hoping it was going to keep on going higher, so I secured and then just basically left my stop loss where it was, and then looked back and price had pushed down, broke the low, and then it gave a nice push up. But I wasn't looking at the charts at that time. I see this a lot where you get price gives a nice reaction, and then it gives that spike, and this is where there's that trap.
Yeah, see, and that's exactly what I look at. That's a perfect example. I'm normally, sometimes I even trade that on the 1 minute, but I'm essentially looking for that initial kind of low, and then a spike lower of that, and then a quick close above. So it has to be quite a quick reaction, and then I try get in with that flow.
So it could be
for long.
It could be a shot here.
Yeah.
Spiking up here again to go down. I was hoping it was just going to fly. Now, I'm going to see, still, this is the original area. Oh, okay, Rob. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Early start, mate. Oh, no, not early, but not much sleep for you.
Thanks, Ed. See you later.
See you, mate. It's going to be very tough for NAS to give it. I really like to see it drop a bit lower, but it's going to be really, really hard given the bullish trend. Because any chance of a pullback, there will be people buying into this, or at least buying into ETFs that follow, like buying QQQ or something like that. And then your BlackRocks, your Vanguards, they'll have to buy the underlying asset. So they'll always, any pullbacks can be met with stiff resistance, or as in like resistance to break lower, so support, I guess we'll call it. That's looking interesting. So I still want to see a rejection wick. It's annoying though, 50 pips, just down and up. Just moving this level up a little bit. Looking at this wick. This one here. See if we can reject off of it. And that'll be sweeping everything for today. Sweeping Asian high, London high, extending the New York high. Well, I'll leave you with the plan. Still planning these sells. Hopefully we keep on falling. I like this area. Really like this area. Waiting to see if we can get that little wick higher. But I like the sells. If it just keeps on going up, then so be it. But yeah, reasonably confident. But as always, make sure you manage your risk. So, any questions? We might not get volatility now that the news has been out for 36 minutes. Next batch of next volume time is going to be between 4 and 5 p.m. with London close. So London close might be the time that we get like that decent move, maybe 60 pips from like these levels. Hopefully it could be like, just continue to crumble. That would be quite nice to actually push down even further. Really set up some buys for tomorrow when they come out with low employment numbers, and then rate cuts come back on the table for NAS to really start and equities to start rallying from it. So that's kind of what I want to do. I want them to set up price for tomorrow. I don't really want them to be pushing price up, but there's always a chance that they do that. Alrighty, so anywhere inside of here, I'm keeping my eyes peeled for reactions, for downside. Based on like higher time frame necklines, like your hours, I really like closing prices. So talking about like these areas, I really like the daily wicks area, which is that gray area to the left. But they might push price up into this rejection area before finding it. Price is sort of making these higher highs, higher lows at the moment. So this is a bit annoying the way that this reacted, took out my buy, and then pushed the target. But either way, got some decent little move early. This smaller position came all the way back down. I was hoping it was going to run down, so still holding that really small position, the one I was using like a mega stop loss, to see if we can push down to that one. I'm happy to hold that one because it's not really meaning anything, but I'm trying to look at the scale in, a bit more size, just waiting for this volatility to die down, waiting for price to give a little bit more signs. Okay. But that's my ideas. Just really looking for any reason to get into a sell here now, and it's going to be liquidity wicks, rejection wicks, supports breaking, that kind of thing. But I'll continue to observe this, have some alerts. I'll pop an alert over here. Gold, what I'm looking for is, by any chance we pull back to what was it, 30 something? No, 2040 or 2037. Yeah, that was the one. 2038. 20 pips below the key level. But we'll see. Price is just doing its thing, so just gonna let it do its thing, and then just let the trade be in the hands of the gods. Alrighty. So I shall see you tomorrow morning.
Quick question, Hayden.
Yeah, mate.
Again, magic keys. When I open calc, I thought that the parameters would shift with price, or does it? You have to keep on opening a new calc, when you want to take the trade.
Yeah.
So it won't slide with price.
The pending order would, but the stop loss and take profit won't.
Okay, so you need to open calc and enter the trade straight away if that's what you want to go into market at that point. You can't open the calc and let it sit because it'll just...
Yeah, it won't dynamically move the 20, 30 pip stop loss or whatever you're using.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I've done that before where I've set up an order. It was actually on pound yen, and I had it set for 20 sorry, 2%, 2%. And I had the trade, say I was looking to take a trade like this, and say I was just doing something like that, and I had it set up and price was coming down, and I was waiting for some sign of getting in. Price had kept on going down, and I hadn't actually entered market. I'm just waiting to enter, and then it's done something I haven't liked, pushed down, and it negated my trade idea. So what I did was, when price was like here, wasn't thinking, but I went to just close hit open calc to close the trade lines, but I've accidentally hit open trade. And the reason why is I was thinking, because you know how open trade's red, the red button, and green, and the open calc's green button. I was thinking red for close, green for go. So I've opened up a 2% trade here. Stop loss was still there. And and then like it would have been like massive risk reward, and it just went just top, like it was such a quick little 2% loss.
Yeah.
So definitely open calc to reset your default pips.
Advice, thank you.
Yeah. So easy to make so easy to make these mistakes. All right, looks like Naz is coming down again.
Hayden, I shared I shared a trade that I took earlier today, just to give you an idea of what I'm typically looking for.
Oh yeah. Oh here, I'll
With
see it.
inputs here, yeah.
Cool. Oh, what have I done? Oh my god. Trade I looked to take trade. This FTSE short took earlier after the BOE interest rate statement. Prices at a higher time frame area of interest for me. Got that quick spike above the short-term high. Got a momentum break lower. Got in on the pullback. So edge of trend lines upside. That was the spike above.
Yeah, and then just you see they get that momentum bar south. Got in on the pullback. But what I'm that was a situation where we had strong momentum break down to the downside. What I'm trying to do is get involved a bit earlier. Obviously there was news around this time, but yeah, just after that spike. So yeah, pretty much there where you circled.
Yeah, brilliant. So yeah.
But yeah, it is a bit trickier. The timing's something I got to get better at doing. But yeah.
Yeah, it all comes down to how you've done your zones.
Yeah.
So if you've got confidence in that level, this is your confirmation. This is your anticipation. So if you're anticipating that line, that to happen, we've covered that a lot recently in the study sessions regarding buyer's traps. So that's the buyer trap right there. And there's going to be a Dave, you're probably salivating over this, and there's another guy, Glenn, that's Aussie in the London sessions. He'll love you to see you use these trend lines. That's his type of entry, where he gets in there. But Dave will be seeing this that we've covered. The trend, you can see the trend was to the upside, and now people see the trend late. They need to see like many examples of price sort of making higher lows before they'll get involved, and then you'll have like a bell curve of people that get involved in trades. So going from people that get in early to people that get in late, and you've got a majority that get in. So people will see this and see like higher high, then they're looking for a higher low. Price will come down. You'll have some early traders that'll be getting in, like as price is coming down. You'll get a lot more that will wait for at least a bullish candle to close, and then you'll start getting the bulk of people getting in when price is like breaking the highs of the bullish candle to keep on going up, and then you've got the stragglers that get in late. So what happens is you've got different levels of people getting in the trade from here to here, but the bulk will be probably getting in like this zone. So what happens is when it hits that resistance and they get the scary looking candle to the downside, sweeping the highs, they'll hold that drawdown. Price will come back up to their entry, and then when most people have gone through drawdown and it comes back to the entry, they don't hold it for profit. So what they start doing is selling out of that buy position that they held all through the drawdown, and then get out, and then that's right where it just lines up so nicely with that retest. And it all came from the zone. If you get really good at your zones of interest, you anticipate that there's going to be people trapped in buys here. That's the buyer's trap. And then human nature is they'll get out when they get a chance.
Yeah, so two of the other important factors for me is I'm looking for some kind of an extension on the higher time frame, which I use H1 kind of as my primary time frame to get an idea of sort of the trend and the areas of interest. So we had a break of a sort of minor high, that first red line there. What is it? You can't really see on yours. 7644.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one just above there. Yeah. So we got an extension above there, and we're going into an area where I would expect some sort of liquidity to be. So that, factoring that in as well, high time frame level and extension into that level. So I'm expecting some kind of pullback, some degree of mean reversion. So, and then it's just looking for the low time. Yeah. So you say clean candles. I'm referring to those typically as a liquidity gap. Same thing.
Yeah.
And then the low time frame here is just my entry trigger. So that's I need that before I get involved. I used to do a lot of sort of limit orders, sort of touch trade, but it was hit or miss with those, and I still do depending on the situation and the volatility. I just might get in with a wider stop.
Yeah.
And maybe a smaller position and try get a manageable response. So look for a small move and fund my trade essentially. So I'll close some out and then hold the rest for a bigger move. I'll sometimes do that. Yeah.
Looks good. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, I don't actually trade FTSE all that often. It's just I have started watching it a bit more during the London Open. If DAX is pretty slow or choppy, and then I might look to see if there's anything of interest. And just today or something. So.
Cool. Yeah, thanks for sharing. I think people
Cool.
get a lot out of that. Looks nice, eh, Dave? That Dave C. That buyer's trap.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's funny. I've been now getting more sort of refining what that looks like for people when they're looking at that. Whether people are waiting for the break above the previous high, or whether they see that compelling move up. And yeah.
Yeah, I like that trade a lot. And that's Glenn's entry. Trend line, break, retest the trend line, sell. Cool.
I think, as you said, that often represents always represented in the head and shoulders, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of the time that's the head and shoulder.
The exit to complete the head and shoulders pattern.
Yeah, the head. That's the right shoulder.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to see this drop now. Or I'm going to have to just let it do it without thinking. This is the hardest part about a trade now. Is like the hardest part is to do nothing. Just wonder what it's doing. Alrighty. Well, you guys know the plan. Just gonna let it see if it can drop. So I will see you guys for London Open.
See you, mate. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Evan. Cheers, guys.
See ya.
Cheers.